Hello everyone, and thanks for watching Edupedia World Videos. In this session we'll discuss about profit to volume ratio. Before getting into technicalities of PV ratio, we'll have to understand what do we mean by a ratio. A ratio is a statistical or mathematical tool with the help of which we establish a relationship between two variables of the same kind. And it may be expressed in the form of fraction, quotient, proportion, or decimal. Now the next thing that comes into our mind is how to calculate PV ratio and what is this PV ratio. Unlikely the name suggests, like profit to volume ratio, it's not about the ratio between profit and volume of sales. It is a ratio between contribution and sales. So whenever you are provided with the data of 1 year, like contribution and sales, you can easily calculate profit to volume ratio. Or if you are provided with 2 years data, like what we have been provided here in our problem, which we are going to discuss right now, then you can change or you can find out the change in contribution and divide it with the change in sales to find out the PV ratio. So PV ratio can be calculated as contribution divided by sales, and you can multiply it with 100 to convert it into percentage, or if you don't sorry. So this is the formula for PV ratio, and we know how to calculate the break-even point already. But with the help of PV ratio, how we do it is we divide the fixed costs again with the PV ratio. So let us now uh, go along with our problem and let us solve this problem. So the first thing we need to calculate is profit to volume ratio. So we write PV ratio, and here we are provided with the data for 2 years. So we calculate it with the help of change in contribution divided by change in sales, or here we can use change in profit and divide it with change in sales, then we'll multiply it with 100. So our PV ratio is 25%. The next thing we need to calculate is the break-even point. So for that we need to calculate the fixed cost first. So we can calculate fixed cost the formula would be sales multiplied by PV ratio, that is, we can write as 25 by 100, 25%, and we deduct profit from that. So as the fixed ratio, or sorry, fixed cost remains the same for 2 consecutive periods, so we can use this fixed cost here. So we divide the fixed cost by the PV ratio, that is 25 by 100, and we get the break-even point in terms of amount or in terms of currency. So we need 70,000 bucks or 70,000 rupees sales for break-even. The third point is the sales required to earn a profit of 40,000, that we already know how to calculate. We'll just add the fixed cost and we'll add the fixed cost and the amount given the desired profit. We divide this with a contribution, or here we are already being provided with profit volume ratios, so we'll divide it with profit to volume ratio, that is 25% here, so the value is 2,30,000. The fourth point is to calculate the profit when the sales are 2,50,000. That I guess you can calculate. So I come for the fifth point, that is margin of safety. Margin of safety is the point or the amount of sales that is over the break-even point or break-even quantity. So here we can calculate it with the help of profit volume ratio. So we divide the profit amount by the PV ratio. It's very simple. So if the margin of safety is 2 lakh rupees, that we mean is sales is 2,70,000 and we are making a profit of 50,000. Sixth point that we need to calculate is the variable cost. So we already know that the contribution ratio, or we know the PV ratio, which is also known as contribution ratio, is 25%. That means the variable cost is 75%. So we just multiply the sales given with 0.75 or 75% to know the variable cost for the first year. Similarly, you can calculate the variable cost for the second year. You multiply it with 0.75. This is how the profit volume ratio is helpful in calculating the break-even point and margin of safety in sales for a particular profit, or profit for a particular sales. So hope this video helps you understand PV ratio. Thanks for watching this video.